Vechain has been performing incredibly well recently. In this video, we're going to be jumping down into the technical analysis of VET, taking a look at what's been going on and what I think is likely to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe? You can always unsubscribe later. And if you're not in Discord, what are you waiting for? Check it out. The link is in the description below. It's the first place we go to notify you of everything that's going on in the crypto space. So check it out. Link is in the description. Let's jump right down into this video. We'll keep it nice and brief and on point on this Sunday. Give you one of what I think is going on and all that kind of good stuff. So Vechain paired up with USDT. We're actually looking at the Binance chart here and the 1 hour time frame. This is smart money concept. So we can see that there's been some large orders being placed for Vechain that have been pushing the price to the upside. Okay, we can see that within here. I'm going to draw some boxes on just so you can kind of see where these kind of levels are, right? So we have one down at the bottom here at 1.917 and 1.940. So this little area just here, this is essentially, let me just remove that, the very first fair value gap that we see on the 1 hour time frame, most recently, that hasn't been filled out. There then are a couple more. You can have one just over here. This one's actually quite thin. You can barely kind of see it right inside here. This is 1.956 to 1.963. Then we have another one, much larger this time, over this side, coming in at 1.973 to 2.013, and then the last one, most recently in the last couple of hours, just a point of recording this video, we have this one here. This one comes in at 2.034 and 2.054. Okay, so at the moment we can see we've got some fair value gaps. We also have some fair value gaps all the way down here at the 1.4 cent level. Okay, now these are important because at some point I think we're going to come back down and we're more than likely going to fill these gaps out. Okay, I think that's kind of something that we need to be expecting and kind of waiting for. But for now, things are pretty positive, right? We don't have to think about downward price action. I think we've actually in a reasonable position. Okay, and we can see here that we have been doing the typical kind of lower lows and lower highs, and these do have a tendency to want to break to the upside. As you can kind of see here, we've already broken up from our trend line. So we've had a little mini breakout on Vechain's VET token. So we want to be reflecting on, okay, well, where's that going and all that kind of good stuff. For that, we're going to jump on over into the same chart, but without smart money. We're just going to take a look at from an Elliott wave theory point of view, right? We can see there's actually looking pretty interesting within this little area here, right? We have moved to the downside and we've already hit the 1-to-1 ratio. So our minimum expectations were met, and then we also hit the typical expectations. Okay, so we can see an A, B, C structure already met. However, this move to the downside could push us more towards 2.174, 1.236 fib level, okay, back up into this little range here. Now, it's also possible that we start a whole new structure within this range, but for now, it's looking like we found good support on the 50 EMA. We've had a nice healthy correction to the downside. Let's go into that, right? Let's actually go ahead and just remove the fibs because we don't need those on there. We can see that we're holding above the 50 EMA. We can also see that we moved down, we bounced up, and then we moved down again in another three-wave pattern down to the 1-to-1. So that's looking okay. So we've had a correction here. Okay, so this correction that we just had to the downside after completing this C wave upwards basically is a reset, right? So we have the lower highs and the lower lows, we have the three-wave pattern, and now we're looking for that break to the upside, right? And we're breaking out at the moment right inside here, and it's possible that we might start to see this as a zigzag pattern in itself. So we probably have to push up a little bit further, correct down, and then push up further again, retesting at least that local high that we were previously up here at 2.126. So for the most part, Vechain's looking pretty progressive. It looks like it's still got some more room in the tank to move to the upside. Okay, that doesn't look like it's slowing down. Now on the 1 hour time frame, we've got momentum to the upside. That's okay. On the 4 hour, it's actually looking okay. We've moved up, even though we are correcting down on the 4 hour time frame. That gives us more momentum to play with to the upside. We also have some downward momentum on the 8 hour. We do need to be a little bit concerned there. Probably the same for this, yeah, same for the 12, 16, 20 and daily. They all do need to see a correction. So all I'm really saying is on the smaller time frames, we're probably looking to push up again towards the 2.126 cent range. Again, maybe a little bit higher if we're lucky. It might be a double top and then bearish pull to the downside afterwards. A correction is due here for Vechain's VET token. It just doesn't look like it has to happen right away. It's something that might happen maybe next week or something to that effect. Now, if I jump over into our daily time frame, we can see that we've had a new bear market low over here on the 5th of June. This is on the weekly time frame. Let's take it to daily over here, right? So we had our new bear market low right down at this low range, which was actually falling right inside our expected low point, right, which was between 1.231 and 1.484. So this was always in our buy zone document. We kind of had this mapped out as a 3-wave pattern. We kind of completed down here, and then we're moving up. So we were talking about moves to the upside where 2 to 2.5 cent were possible. It's good to see that we broke up into the 2 cent range, but I don't think at this point we're likely to push into the into the 2.5. I just don't think that's something that's likely to happen. Now you can see here on the daily, we're kind of seeing that the 200 EMA is going to be the major resistance for us. That comes in at 2.169 cents. So I think for the most part, we're going to see a big crash in Vechain's VET token, but not until we first finish off those microstructures on the hourly. I think we need to see a nice healthy correction on our daily time frame. You can see it's really overbought and it needs to move to the downside. So we will be looking for another move down on this one. Now, there's a couple of different ways that this can play out. For the most part, I would say we are probably in some kind of triple zigzag pattern. So W, X, Y, X, and Z in that C wave pattern there. So for example, W, X, Y, X, and then down into Z. That's kind of how I'm seeing Vechain. So it looks like we've probably kind of already got a little bit of momentum to the upside still, right? We can still push a little bit more, but for the most part, I think we are likely to see some downward movements on Vechain's VET token in the kind of coming weeks. As time kind of progresses, it will become clearer with structures, but for now, this one looks like it is potentially running its course. I just want to quickly check this on the daily time frame because I know some people will be saying that it's an impulsive movement, and it is not, and that's really obvious that it's not because we have pierced above the 1.382 but failed to hit the 1.618, and if I put that right on the candle wick there, you can see that we're quite far away from it. We hit it over here, but it means that we are not doing something like this. We're not doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not a correct count, doesn't meet the requirements. Instead, it would be more of a W, X, Y, X, and Z kind of structure, something to that effect. Again, interesting kind of patterns, but nonetheless, it doesn't subtract from the fact that it looks like we are just corrective to the upside, and therefore we should be thinking about moving back down in our next corrective pattern. Probably have to come down into a new bear market low in order to complete the pattern. It's not a guarantee, but it's something that I would suspect would probably have to occur, which means some better deals on Vechain's VET token for when the bull market does actually start. I think I'm going to leave the video right there though, guys. If you have found this useful and informative, smash the like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, check it out, guys. Link is in the description below. Until the next one, have a fantastic day.
We are not financial advisors. None of what we have communicated verbally or in writing here should be considered as financial advice. It is not. Do your own research before investing in any digital asset or affiliate offers, and understand that investing in any crypto is risky. If you do, you need to be prepared to lose your entire investment. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. All our videos are strictly personal opinions. Please make sure you do your own research and never take our opinions for financial guidance. There are multiple strategies, and not all strategies fit all people. Our videos are not financial advice.